And take a big inhale, circle the arms up overhead, and then exhale down to the side. Let's do the same thing. Inhale up, circle to the side, but bring the arms forward this time as you come down, and bring the hands to the thighs. And let's do our cow and cat thing, where we arch through the back and then round up. That always feels good. Maybe you've already done that this morning when you got up out of bed. Who knows? Stay in cow for a moment. Find that arch in the back and alternate the shoulder press. A couple more times, one each side. And then come back to center. Pull the navel to the spine to just support yourself as you come up. Even drag the feet away from each other. Roll the shoulders back. Inhale the right arm up, reach to the ceiling, and then exhale into the side bend. Inhale back up again. Exhale, release. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Inhale, left arm up. Side bend to your right. And then inhale, reach up and down. Let's do a little twist. So right hand over to the left waist or hip and gently pull yourself into a twist. The other hand can come behind the low back. And then unwind, come back to do the other side. Relax through the shoulders and come back. Bring the hands to the hips. Side leg press just with the right leg without any tension, without any band. So just right leg press. Standing really tall, just waking up through the core, because whenever we balance, we're balancing, we're working through the core. 3 more times. 2. Last one. And then let's switch right away to the left leg. Side leg press to the left leg. 4 more. 3, 2, and last one. Great. Alternate the side leg press now. If you have your hands on your waist, you might be able to feel your abdominals contracting underneath your hands there, because every time you go onto one leg, especially the oblique muscles have to work to keep you upright. 2 more each side. Nice. Bring them back to center and then take them wide, take the feet wide, turn the toes out into our nice wide squat position again. Go down into that wide-legged squat with the thighs almost parallel to the floor. Lift all 10 toes up so you don't have your body weight firmly into the soles of the feet, and then relax them down. Take an inhale, exhale, come up. Almost straightening out the knees, but not quite. 10 more. 9, 8, keep going. 7. As you're doing this, imagine that you're squeezing those inner thighs toward each other. 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Low down, stay there. Lift both heels up. Side to side, right and left, little slide, right and left. So knees are staying bent and legs are staying almost parallel to the floor. Stay with this. 4 more slides. 4, 3, 2, and last one. Come back to center, lower the heels down. Take the feet out a little bit wider and turn the toes in such a way that the feet are parallel to each other. Now, if you happen to have your block handy, reach for that so that your hands are on the block. And just find a nice long body out over the floor, crown of the head reaching out away from your tailbone. And now let's do a little slide here. So bend the right knee and slide to your right, and then come back center, bend the left, slide to the left. So keep doing that. Always coming to center in the middle of it and making sure that the crown of the head is reaching away from the tailbone. A few more times. So opening up through the hips, which usually helps us find a little bit of ease into the low back as we do some of the work. One more time each side. Nice. Now stay here, but pivot all the way around to face over your right knee. So that right knee stays bent. The left one extends out. And I'm just mirroring you here. Reach the rib cage forward. Lower the knee, the right knee, and then lift. Lower, sorry, left one. Because I'm mirroring you, I get mixed up sometimes. Sorry about that. 2 more. Last one. Come all the way back to center. You can come to that block if you want. And you can leave it there if you want or bring it with you. It doesn't matter. And then pivot all the way around now to your left. And then same thing. Reach the rib cage forward. Lower that back knee and lift. Lower and lift. 4 more. 3, 2, and last one, pivoting all the way around again, back to that wide-legged fold over, but you're only folded over halfway. So the crown of the head is reaching away from that tailbone. You can keep your hands on the block, or if they're on the floor, that's fine. Walk the feet in. Bring the feet right underneath the hips. Imagine that the feet are underneath the hips, but super glued to the mat, pulling them away from each other. Bring the hands to your hips and come all the way up. Beautiful. Grab your band. Let's do our shoulder one that we did the other day. So anchor the band at your left waist. Right arm is bent. Forearm is pointing straight ahead of you. Take an inhale. Exhale, rotate through that back right shoulder. Rotate. Keep going. 10 more. 9. Watch for this. The wrist stays steady. It's tempting for the wrist to turn away, to kind of bend there. It's like it feels like you're reaching back more quickly. 5 more. 4, 3, 2. Last one, come back and then do the same thing on the other side. So anchored at the right waist, left elbow bent, forearm straight ahead. Take an inhale, exhale, rotate. Yeah, so again, watch that wrist. Try to keep it straight and pull the whole of the arm back. That range of motion in the brain sort of thinks that you've gone farther than you have when you bend at the wrist. 5 more. 4, 3, 2. Last one. Excellent. Let's repeat it again. If you want, add the balance challenge. So set up for the rotation on the right side. Shift your body weight maybe to the left leg and bring the right knee up. Take an inhale, exhale, rotate. Good. Maybe you could shorten the length of that band a little bit to increase the resistance this time. Make it just a little more challenging in a couple of ways. 8 more. 7, 6, 5. Check in that you're breathing. 4, 3, 2, and last one coming in. Great. Lower that leg. Set up for the same thing on the other side. So 2 sets of these 12 repetitions. Then when you're set up with the left arm ready to rotate out, shift your body weight to the right leg. Bring the left leg up. Take an inhale. Exhale. Rotate. Yeah, and remember, shorten up on that band a little bit if you're feeling just a little bit stronger now. We've woken up a little bit more, the body's a little bit warmer. 8 more. 7, 6, count it out. 5, watch the wrist. 4, 3, 2, and last one. Nice work. Bring the arm back and lower the leg. So just a little close up on this coming in. What's happening, as I'm saying, is as you're rotating the arm out, it's tempting to turn the wrist with it. So try and keep that wrist, whenever you're doing that one, as straight as possible. Just an idea. Okay, are we ready? Let's do some of our lunge work. So come up to the top of the mat, step back with the right leg, get into our nice lunge position, hands to the waist. Last Wednesday, we did coming up to standing, so let's stick with that. Although option to keep both feet on the mat and simply go up and down. So take an inhale, exhale, bring the knee up, or just come to standing. Inhale, step back. Bring the arms up with it maybe. Keep going. 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7. Really step back. 6, 5, 4, 3, count it out, 2. Last one, step way back, way back. Lower the right hand down to the mat underneath the shoulder, and let's do a twist. We did this last week too. So open up to the left and release. Open up to the left and release. Keep going. Nice to work on that range of motion. 4 more. Push that back heel straight into the space behind you. Make it nice and strong. 2 more. And last one, bring that arm down, hand down to the mat. Inhale to come up to the high lunge. Exhale to step up to the top of your mat. Step back with the left leg. Take a moment here to settle in. Play around so you know you can lift the toes of the right foot and the left foot is as far back as you can go. Take an inhale, exhale, come up to whichever variation you want. Knee up or stepping up, or you could keep both feet on the mat and just go up and down. Big step back if you're coming up. 8 more. 7, 6, 5, 4. Count it out. 2 more. Last one, step it back. Bring the left hand down to the mat underneath the shoulder, and then twist to the right, lift that arm up, release it back down. Twist back down. Keep going. 4 more of these. Keep pushing that left heel back into space. 3, 2. Last one. That right hand comes back down. Inhale to come up to the lunge, hands to the waist. Exhale, stepping in. Nice work. Grab your band again. Let's do a set of lat pull downs. They're always good. So arms up 45 degrees, feet underneath the hips, take an inhale, exhale, pull down and back. Inhale, release. Exhale, down and back. Nice work. 10 more. 9, 8, 7, you got it. 6, 5, 4, count. 3. This is another one we're trying to keep the wrists straight if possible. Last one and release. Band goes down. Grab your weight, 1 weight or 2 weights. We're doing the one we're in the lunge position, like a short lunge with a row and then a press back. Come in and release. So check out if you want to do that with 1 weight or 2 weights, or maybe no weights. Lots of ways to do that. You could start out with 1 weight, and then when we do the second set, go up to 2 weights. So set up with your lunge position. We'll start right hand first. So left foot in front of you, right foot is back just a little bit. So it's a short lunge. Left hand on that thigh for support. Hand is down with a weight in it, palm facing forward. Come up and row, press back, bend, and release back down again. Row, press back, bend again, release. Keep going with that movement. So it's a row movement and a kickback movement, which is what they call them in the gym. 8 more. Nice. Work through that whole range of motion. It feels so good. Yeah. 6 more. I dream about counting or miscounting. 4 more. 3. Stay with it. When you're doing that kickback, really keep that upper arm lifted high. Nice. Last one. Good. Now, stay here with your hand on your thigh for a minute and just engage your abdominals, brace through there by maybe pulling the navel to the spine, and then bring the spine up, and then you can step that back foot in, the right foot in. Now we'll do the other side. So short row or a short lunge position, right hand to the thigh this time. Left arm is released down with a weight in it or not, or 2 weights. And then here we go, row, press back, bend, release down. Row, press back, bend, release down. 10 more. Yeah. If the pace that I'm going at is just a little too fast, slow it down and do fewer to make sure that you're getting that whole range of motion, especially in the press back. 7 more. 6. Now you can also be bracing through the abdominals even as you stand in this lunge position. 4 more. 3. 2. Last one. So again, stay here with your hand on the thigh and bring your awareness to abdominals, brace in through them, and then bring the spine up, and then you can step in. All right, so we are repeating that. Couple of options here. You could take a second weight in your hand if you want to and add that extra weight. And another option is from the lunge, hand to that left thigh. Now add the balance challenge by lifting that right leg up. So it's like a counterweight there. Brace through the abdominals. The arm comes down. Now we do exactly the same movement, but we're standing on one leg. So lift up, press back, bend, release. Up, back. We will do fewer of these because it's a little more challenge, especially if you picked up that second weight. We're going for 8 repetitions here. Lot to think about when we're balancing. 4 more. Bend. Yeah, press. Bend again. Release. 3 more. 2. And last one. Now, when you come to the end, stay there for a minute. If you're balancing, stay there. Brace through the abdominals and then come up with the spine. Good. Having that leg out behind you is kind of a counterweight, so it does actually help the back, but we always want to be careful of it, right? Let's do the other side. So again, option, you could have the 2 weights. You could be in the original position that we did, just second set, in the lunge with the right hand down the thighs, or you could be adding that balance challenge by lifting that back leg. Arm is straight, that's doing the work, and then bend, kick back, bend, release down, bend, kick back, bend, release down. Keep going. Now you may notice I've picked up the second weight here, and it's very possible that I actually cannot do all 8 repetitions with the 2 weights without losing my form. So when that starts to happen, which may happen now, I just take one weight away and continue with the other weight, with just the one weight. 2 more. And that weight's pulling my body over. 1 more. And then again, when you get to the last one, really brace through the abdominals, bring the spine up. Good. And then release the weight down. So the weights can actually go out of the way, and we're going down to the mat. We want your block handy here. Have your block handy. So first of all, let's work those triceps just a tiny little bit more. So hands are underneath the shoulders in tabletop position. So we did this last week. We're repeating this so that we get highly skilled at it. Inhale, bend the elbows, reach the rib cage down toward the mat. Exhale, press away. Now really pay attention as you're doing this. Elbows staying in line with the wrists. So the elbows are staying, tracking in line with the shoulders too. Just turning to face you so you can see. If you feel that the elbows are winging out to the side, try and hug them in toward the body. Just 3 more. Inhale as you bend. Exhale as you press away. Inhale, bend. Exhale, press away. 1 more time. Nice. And now just sit it back for a moment, high kneel or low kneel. Just give it a little shake out if you want to. You could bring the arms up and then bend the elbows so the hands come to the back, upper back, and just press in and back. That's kind of a nice way to give some release to those triceps. And then shake it out. All right, new one today. We actually did this a long time ago, but we're bringing it back. So with your block, or if you find that this block is just a little too low to the ground still, you could use a chair or a couch to do this. With your block, set up into side plank. So from here, full arm side plank. Take the top leg out, doesn't matter which one. The bottom leg, keep it bent. So everybody keeping the bottom leg bent this time. Even if you normally do side plank with legs straight, keep it bent. Pull the head back, push the hips forward. It's really important that we have our body in a nice straight line. So like imagine that you're kind of right up against a wall here and you're being forced to stay in a nice straight line. Now we're actually going to work the inner thigh as well as the oblique muscle. So top hand to your waist, then really strong, lift yourself up just so that you bring that bottom leg up off the mat a bit, and then squeeze the legs together, keeping that top leg steady. So it's like the bottom leg is squeezing into the top leg, but also visualize that you're squeezing both thighs together, kind of like when we're in that seated inner thigh work with the band. So you're lifting that lower leg up toward the higher leg. Keep going. Yeah. We can do it. We're going for 12 on this. Nice. 4 more. Squeeze. Body is straight. 3, 2, and last one. Nice. So now we'll move and do the same thing over on the other side. So you might be just rolling back, shift however you want. The hand up on that elevated block gives you a little more space to do this work with the inner thigh, but you could do it with your hand on the floor, or as I say, on a higher elevation. Okay, let's set up. Here we go. Really tall through the body. So pull the head back, like the chin's tucking toward the neck. Press the hips forward a little bit. They tend to fall back sometimes. So press them forward. Get ready. Top hand to that waist or hip, and then lift up just a little bit. Squeeze that bottom leg toward the top. Release and squeeze. Fabulous. Keep the body in nice straight alignment as much as possible. 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5. Slow is the game here. Really think about this. 4, 3, 2, and last one. And then that leg can lower and we come back straight into wide-handed push-up. So set yourself up. I will face the camera so that you can see really wide hands. You can be from bent knees, or you could have yourself from your toes and put your hands at the floor, or a higher elevation. You choose. Here we go. Inhale, bend the elbows. Notice they stack right over the wrists. Exhale, press away. Reach the sternum toward the floor. Keep the head lifted. 10 more. 9, 8, 7. Keep going. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Walk it back or walk it forward, whatever is best. Let's go right back to that plank one with the inner thigh work, okay? So we'll repeat it. It's always fun to repeat things because our brain to muscle connection typically improves the second time around. We tend to do things better. All right, so up on that plank, check in, body's nice and straight, bending that bottom knee. And then when you're ready, it's kind of like you're pushing your hand in to lift the hip up, and then we squeeze the lower leg to the higher leg. Squeeze. Keep going. 10 more. 9, 8, 7. Keep the head pulled back, hips push forward. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Beautiful. Let's do the same thing on the other side. If you happen to have those ankle weights, you know, the kind of Jane Fonda type ankle weights, this would be a fabulous exercise to use those as a way to challenge yourself a little bit more. Okay, we're setting up like you're right up against a wall, nice and straight, chin tucks back, hips are forward a bit, bottom knee is bent. Take an inhale, exhale, squeeze. Inhale, release. Exhale, squeeze. You're lifting the whole of that leg off the mat, right? And squeezing together, trying to bring the foot up in line with your knee. 7 more. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, And last one, knee lowers down, back to our high, to our push-ups, wide push-ups again. So hands are wide, set yourself up. Ask yourself how you could challenge yourself a little bit more. So maybe if you're doing it from a bent knee, try a couple from toes. Are you ready? Here we go. Inhale, bend, exhale, press away. Inhale, bend, exhale, press away. If you're at a higher elevation, you've always done it from a higher elevation, try bringing it down. 8, 7, 6, you can do it. 5, you're strong. 4, 3, really exhale as you press away. 2, and last one. Beautiful. Okay, sit it back. Give your arms a little shake out. That will feel good. Working the back a little bit extra today. So let's come down to the belly. Move anything that is in the way on your mat out of the way. When you get to the belly, forehead to the mat, arms in cactus pose. Keep the forehead and the arms in cactus pose just where they are on the mat. Wiggle the hips so the thighs are equally connected to the mat. Take an inhale. Exhale, lift the right leg up and lower. Exhale, left leg up and lower. Keep doing that alternating leg lift. On the exhale, working through the glutes, but also working through the back in a really subtle way. So nice, because our posture actually is really nice here. It works through that whole fascial line on the back, wakes everything up, fires it up, especially if you happen to spend any time sitting at all. This is a really nice thing to do. And also, this is something that will really help people walking. Strengthen through those glutes and that whole posterior chain. One more time each side. And then keep the legs resting. Use your arms to press the rib cage up off the mat. Lift the head with it too. And then lower. Take an inhale as you lower. Exhale as you press up. So I know sometimes this doesn't feel like a really intense workout doing this, but you would be amazed how good this is for your body. For most of us, the posterior chain of muscles is quite stretched out, although walking definitely improves that. So after this one, 2 more. 2. And last one. Great work. Now, take a rest here if you want. Wiggle the hips from side to side. Otherwise, straight into that same movement that we were just doing, but lifting the arms as well. So take an inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. And if you're still in that hip rocking position, just join us when you're ready, or join us leaving the arms on the floor as we did before. So check in with your own body here. What feels good? And as you're coming up with this, if you're lifting the arms, imagine you're squeezing the shoulder blades together at the same time. Just giving that little extra workout there. Keep going. 4 more. 4, 3, 2. Last one. Bring the palms to stack under the forehead and do a little rock from side to side. This set of back exercises is something that I would really actually recommend doing 3 times a week. It really improves the posture. Let's do one more set. I'm fogging up here. Option to lift the legs with the upper body if you want. Just 8 of these, because sadly we're running out of time. So take an inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, release. Lift. 6 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Again, forehead to stack palms, rock the hips from side to side.
and find stillness. Bend one knee, it really doesn't matter which knee, and slide it up the floor beside you. Yeah, and then flex the foot. So your knee is at 90 degrees and your ankle is at 90 degrees. And just take a few breaths there. This is actually a way to ease the low back a little bit after those back extensions. It's such a conundrum, right? Because back extensions are so important for our back strength. And yet, because we're often in flexion, we really feel them. And so sometimes it just feels like we need to release through the low back after them. Okay, straighten that leg out, whichever one you lifted. Thigh is on the mat. Do the same thing on the other side. So bend that knee to 90 degrees or thereabouts and flex the foot also to 90 degrees or thereabouts. And just stay with it for a few breaths. You can kind of imagine that you're pushing that leg, the one that's bent, pushing that hip toward the mat. And that's a way to get a little extra external rotation into that hip. This is kind of instead of sitting with the soles of the feet together and the knees apart like we often do. And then straighten that leg out. And then here's another thing to think about as you come back up to seated. Bring the hands back, pull the navel to the spine, and then press yourself back. Come to kneeling or to seated, whichever is your preference. Yeah, roll the shoulders back. Bring the arms up to cactus pose, squeeze, turn the whole of the head to your right. Come back to center, whole of the head to the left. Come back to center. Bring the arms down and behind you. Reach for just above one wrist with the other hand. So it doesn't matter which hand, but you're just reaching above the wrist. So grabbing that forearm and gently pulling in. And whichever straight arm you're pulling in, tip the head in that same direction. So I've got a hold of my left arm. I'm tipping my head to the right because I'm pulling my left arm to the right. And then release that. Do the same thing on the other side. So make sure that you're grabbing above the wrist and then pulling that arm. So arm and head are moving in the same direction. And then bring the head up. Yeah, give yourselves a hand. We went a couple of minutes overtime, brought in a couple of things we haven't done for a while. So hopefully that helps. And this one is recorded. So then you have it. You could repeat it maybe on Friday.